All right. Testing. All right. I think the audio's on. Welcome, everybody, to CanHammer TV, this unpredictable stream. What's up, Snoot DeVille? Harvey Danger's already in the house. Hope everybody enjoyed that chill music. My brother, as a hobby, makes music like that. And he's entering some kind of contest. If he wins it, he gets to put a track on the next Wu-Tang album or something like that, and then go and meet them and record it and go to a show with them or something. I don't know. So he wants me to put his music out there. So I'm like, well, it's a pretty niche market, but I'll put your music on. I'll put your music on as my starting soon page. So there you go. That's some music by my brother, and every time I'll try and put something different on. It's all kind of similar, but it's pretty good. So welcome, everybody. I, of course, was supposed to be away this week, so there are no live streams. But then I thought my trip ended up getting canceled. And so why not do a impromptu live stream? And, of course, the registration for Capital City Bloodbath went live today. So I thought, what better way to put it out there and answer questions and whatever else people need right here online on the stream. So welcome to a quick episode of CanHammer TV. If you have any questions about Capital City Bloodbath, please put them in the chat and I will try and answer them if I have answers. So before we start talking to that, I want to thank our big sponsors, Dan and Dylan at Red Dragon Comics, Cards, and Games. They are the main sponsor of the channel and also the main sponsor of Capital City Bloodbath this year. They're literally putting up all the prize support for the event. So amazing sponsorship, and we're going to make this the best Capital City Bloodbath to date. So got big shoes to fill. We had a great event last year. We'll always try and make it as good as possible. And so hopefully it's going to be good. Our team's been working hard on it and released the registrations today. So we'll go over some of the details just for people. And if you have any questions, of course, put them in the chat. So before I say anything, you can find all of this on the Facebook page for CanHammer under Events, Capital City Bloodbath 2019, CCBB, and in the About tab, all of it is written there. It's a long tab. Make sure you click the little see more thing at the bottom. There's a lot of text there. It covers everything that we have right now. Obviously, we don't have things like player packs and stuff like that out yet, but includes all the details that we have right now, all the registration details, some travel details, hotel details, everything is there. The other place where you can find all this detail is on the website, www.capitalcitybloodbath.com. And on there, you have listing of the schedules, what all the events are going to be, the list of sponsors, details about the hotel and the venue. The link to the hotel block is on the website. And there's a link there that takes you right to the block with the code already applied, but the code is also on the page in case you're going through the other way. So everything is on there if people need reference. So for people who don't know, Capital City Bloodbath is our big event every year. We run two big events as the CanHammer team. We run the CanHammer Team Tournament, which we already had, just seemed like just under a month ago, and now we're already on to the next. CanHammer team was a bit late this year, and then Capital City Bloodbath is our big summer event, usually in the middle of August in Ottawa. And it has been growing year after year. The first year I got involved, which was 2 years ago, it grew. It was good, and then it grew last year to 104 people for 40K and 40 something for AOS, and then it's just been growing every year. This year will be no different. We expect some growth. Both games have been growing, and if initial signups are any initial interest on the webpage and on the Facebook page or any indications, we will be growing again this year. So this event it's not really a con, but there are a number of games, and we also have a couple of other things going on. So it's kind of like a little mini con, but our intention was never to make it like a giant gaming con. But it's our big tournaments for the premier events every year. So this year, of course, we're going to have a 2-day championship for 40K and AOS. These are the 6 rounds, 3 and 3. Last year we had a lot of feedback that 4 and 2, that 4-game day was too long. And so we've changed it to 3 and 3 this year. So both days will be finished around, I think, 6:30, something like that. Sigmar and 40K both championships, 6 rounds. The 40K is going to be straight up ITC, and the Sigmar will be what we ran last time at Day of Blood, which is basically what they're running in the UK. So GHB missions and realm spells and stuff like that, hidden agendas, things like that. Now, it's very possible that we'll talk about the events in a second. Then we're running Night Vault Grand Clash on the Friday, which is cool. And then that'll be our second Night Vault event in Ottawa. The first one we ran a long time ago. We haven't run one recently. And we're also running Sigmar and 40K doubles events by popular request, because we did not run any Friday events last year. So Sigmar and 40K doubles are back. Super fun events. Those are on the Friday. Also on the Friday, we have Free Blades, and I believe that the maker of Free Blades will be there to run it and to probably bring a lot of free stuff, and I guess it's going to be pretty sweet if you're into Free Blades, or if you want to check it out, come on the Friday. Then we got Batman on Saturday and Rumble Slam on Sunday are the other games that we're playing. Of course, we have the Gamer Garage sale, the famous Gamer Garage sale. You can drop your stuff off starting Saturday, and the team will sell it for you, and you pick up your earnings on Sunday. And the garage sale itself opens for business 8:15 on the Sunday morning. So bring all your stuff. I think me and Chris are usually in the running for sold the most stuff every year, because that just tells us that we got too much stuff. But come bring all your stuff. It doesn't, not only just Warhammer, anything to do with gaming, wargaming, tabletop gaming, board gaming, magazines. You can sell all this stuff there. The staff takes a very, very tiny cut for their efforts. Of course, they're all volunteers, and they just get the stuff sold for you, so it's awesome. So you are able to bring your stuff to sell even if you're not playing in the event. It's an open event, open thing. So do come along, check it out, check out the event, put your stuff into Game Garage Sale. And this year, we're bringing back the painting competition. So I think it was 2 years ago, we had Andrew Weber judge a painting competition for us, separate from like the best painted in the actual tournaments. And so people actually enter their models for this competition. So this year we're bringing that back. We're Zach from Brushfire Studios, one of the local painters here in the Ottawa area. He is going to be running and judging that for us. We're going to be taking entries on the Friday up to Saturday lunch. He's going to judge it Saturday afternoon, and then we're going to give out the awards on the Sunday. So do make sure, if you're interested in entering the painting competition, to hit that up. Now, the painting competition is $10 for as many entries as you want. Or it's free if you're already playing in the event and you paid an entry to one of the other events. So it's a pretty sweet deal. And we're looking to get some sweet prizes for the painting competition. And the level was very high last time. So you can enter in single model, squad or diorama, vehicle, and knights are vehicles, or monsters, like large creatures, monsters, which is really towards the AOS side. So those are the 4 categories, and you can enter whatever you like. People have been asking me, can I enter something and proxy something in the game they're playing in a tournament? Unfortunately, no, man. Your thing needs to sit there and be entered, and you're not allowed to proxy in the tournament. So you're going to have to figure some way around that if you want to enter something that you need to play with. So that was a question that we got online yesterday. So painting competition for sure is going to be sweet, and that should be some nice prizes. We're looking to get some nice prizing set up for that. Okay, so that's basically about it. So it's August 16th, 17th, and 18th in the EY Center in Ottawa. Now, the EY Center is the giant convention center in the south end of Ottawa, right next to the airport. You can literally walk from Ottawa Airport to the EY Center in about 15 minutes. It's very close. And there are 2 hotels right across the street from the EY Center. One is the Hilton Garden Inn, where we have our room blocks. So do check that out. We have great deals at the Hilton Garden Inn for the event. And the room block is will start off small, but has a lot of room to expand if there's demand. So let us know if you're running out of space in the room block. We'll get it expanded. There's also a hotel next to the Hilton Garden that just popped up like last year. I think it's a Marriott. It's a similar kind of setup to the Hilton Garden. It's literally right next door to the Hilton Garden. We don't have a block there, but there's lots of rooms there, obviously. And both those hotels are walking distance from the airport. There are lots of other places to stay in Ottawa, obviously, but those two are the closest to the venue. There's unlimited parking. It's usually the only event on at this giant convention center at that time of the year. So there's plenty of space for us. We usually have a giant, like, aircraft hangar sized space. And I can confirm we are springing for the carpet this year. So huge space, well lit, very nice and airy, but it's going to be soft. Underfloor, it's going to be quieter. Your dice won't roll all the way across the room when you drop them. Your models may not break when you drop them. So it's very nice. We had lots of compliments last year about the carpet. So we try and give the people what they want. Get some carpet back this year. Of course, your entry includes lunch on the days that your event is running. So if you play Night Vault, you get lunch Nightfall. If you play AOS doubles, you get the lunch on that day. If you play 40K or AOS singles, you get lunch on the Saturday and the Sunday included in your ticket. So, and the lunches are usually pretty good. So there will be a bar. I believe it's going to be Friday, Saturday, but don't quote me on that. But there will be a bar. We'll open for a number of hours. And so there will be a bar. And I think that sort of covers hotels. So Harvey Danger, to answer your question, there is a room block. The discount code is WHT, but there's a link where you can access directly to book the room block on the website under event info, www.capitalcitybloodbath.com. All right. Just a little bit about the events themselves. So Night Vault, we're going to be running a Grand Clash. We're hoping for about 30 people. More would be cool. There's no limit, but we're hoping for about 30 people. There's going to be a large group of guys coming from Toronto. This Jeff and his club, they're hardcore Night Vault players. So if you're going to play in the Clash, be ready for competition. So we're hoping for around 30 players for Night Vault. We're at the request of people. We're going to start it at the registrations at 12. You can eat your lunch while registering. So during the lunch hour is going to be kind of check-in and lunch. And then they just want to go 5 rounds straight on, like hour and a half rounds. So that will end later in the day, like 8, 9 o'clock. So it's going to be a 5-round clash starting at lunchtime on the Friday. That's still subject to change. That's currently what we're working at right now. So people playing in the Grand Clash who need to travel can even come in on the Friday and not have to stay to Thursday night. Hey, Tomb King Tristan, welcome. So I haven't played Night Vault in a while, so I got to brush up on the current format. But we will be using GW's official format for the Night Vault tournament. No point reinventing the wheel. So, and then all the banned and restricted lists and stuff like that. So that will all be, you can look at what that is on the GW website right now, I believe. And so that's what we'll be using. And that's Night Vault. So I can't speak to Freeblades, Batman, or RumbleSlam, but I know that the RumbleSlam guys are probably bringing TT Combat, the makers of it. They'll be there, and I definitely know that the makers of Freeblades are coming, and they're very excited to play the event, play the game, and show their game to people on the Friday. So if you're interested in looking at Freeblades, just want to try it out, just come on the Friday and try it out straight from the company themselves. In terms of AOS doubles, it's going to be hopefully going to get at least kind of 10 teams. That'll be nice. The local AOS scene has been letting us down recently, so we need people to step up, man. If you're an AOS player, you got to step up, because right now it seems like nobody plays it in Ottawa, and I know people do. So AOS community here, they've got to step up. People are going to be bringing their game from Toronto. I know the Conquest guys are coming. Rahul's whole team's coming. The AOS team guys from the Quebec side are going to be bringing the heat. So us local AOS guys got to step up. So that's going to be probably similar to what they did in Adepticon. I haven't decided yet, but 2 kind of 1K separate armies as a team, something like that. That'll be 3 rounds. It's going to be super cool. Budtastic Guy coming from Winnipeg. That is what I like to see. Boom. Thank you very much, Fantastic Guy. We'll be happy to host you in the nation's capital, and coming all the way from the Peg, which is great. Actually, my trip that got canceled, I was supposed to go to Dryden, which apparently is somewhere north of Winnipeg. But anyway, Tomb King Tristan, of course, coming from PEI, which is awesome. Him, you might be the only player in PEI, Tomb King, but thank you for coming out. That's awesome. It's just amazing people coming from all over for this event, because it's going to be an amazing event. And it's also a great excuse to visit the capital in the summertime when it's just beautiful. So that is really a nice time to visit. Lord Draconis, welcome. Welcome. So, 40K doubles, we haven't decided on the format. We're trying to decide if it's going to be rule of 2, like if you play a 1K game under official match play rules, is a rule of 2, or whether it's going to be a rule of 3 split between the 2 people. But probably it's going to be 2 1K lists, so something like that. We haven't decided on the format yet. And Lord Dracon is coming down from Thunder Bay. Boom. Awesome. That will be amazing. Lots for spouses to do in Ottawa in the summertime. So that is for sure. Yes, and Fantastic Guy, convince the wife to make it part of your summer trip. That's the way to do it. Yeah. So that's going to be like the 40K doubles is going to be something we haven't decided yet. Okay, and then the singles. So 40K singles is going to be ITC. We're doing straight up ITC just to make it easy for everybody. And Lord Draconis, your wife's playing in AOS Champs. Nice. That's awesome. That is certainly a summer trip. Nice. So it's going to be straight up ITC. That's everything. Code of conduct, chess clock rules, whatever the missions are at the time. Magic boxes. So we do have some magic boxes. There's not a lot of magic boxes, so I wouldn't stress too much about magic boxes, but there may be occasional magic boxes. Kusei Rock, large group coming from Sudbury again, of course. And Brandon, yes. How are you doing, Brandon? Just don't bring no vaults down, you know what I'm saying? Yes, the Sudbury guys, basement guys, all coming down, and always amazing to host the Basement Collective guys. They're super fun. And watching Kevin and Irvin charge at the whistle into the Gamer Garage sale is a little bit scary, but kind of cool. So that's always fun. So 40K, that's what it's going to be. Tomb King Tristan, what's a magic box? Oh, basically it's an enclosed rune. It's like a closed square, a box basically. And ITC has specific rules about how people can go in and out of the box. And so we have very few of those kinds of scenery, but there are some. But otherwise it'll be straight up ITC. The deadline for all the new codexes and stuff is going to be the standard 4 weeks before. Of course, we reserve discretion to use anything that comes out afterwards. But there will be no FAQ or anything in the summertime. Probably the Chaos Renegade Knights will be well out even before for ETC, so it's unlikely that we'll have any book released too close. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. If the ITC were to change their missions within the 4-week line, we would probably change with it, because there's no point playing old missions. So we'll see, but I've been talking to Reese. I don't think that's in the cards anywhere. Okay, so that's the 40K champs. Of course, Scary Ridvan from Scarredcast is coming to defend his title. He's got his hammer. He's going to bring it along and hit people on the head with it, apparently. And we will have a new hammer for the new champion, if there is a new champion. And so if you want a chance at that championship, you got to come and beat Scary, because he's in it to win it. Okay. So that's 40K. AOS champs will be based on General's Handbook. So General's Handbook rumored to come out end of June, General's Handbook 2019. So if it does in fact come out sometime at the end of June, we will be using new General's Handbook. It's the same 4-week rule, Tristan, as 40K, because it's just really hard. Of course, we have, as I said, we have discretion to use something if it's a minor change, but things don't change really minorly these days. Usually, if GW changes things, it changes a lot of things. But the 4-week is what we have found to work well in terms of giving people a chance to change things versus being too close. So what we were going to do is exactly what we did with Date of Blood, which people really enjoyed. I'm going to give people a set of like 8 to 12 of the missions from GHB 18 or 19, depending which it is, and then a list of possible realms. Which realm we're going to use, one realm feature and one realm spell. And then it's going to be, but the exact 6 missions we're going to use will be unknown until the day of the competition. So if you want to prepare for AOS, Capital City Bloodbath, you got to be able to play any of the missions with a mix of realm features. Now, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not going to make realm features or realm spells that are very swingy, okay, because that's just a bad play experience for people. So, the realm spells and realm features are going to be fun and add a little bit of something to the games, but they're not going to be like, if you play Nagash on this realm, you win. Okay, so nobody wants to play that. And I'm also going to stay away from missions that are also like that. So some missions, certain armies win turn 1, for example. Although Sylvaneth seems like they're getting a bit screwed. But anyway, that's another topic. So we're going to try and make it so everybody can play all the missions, right? But we do like to have people have balanced armies. So if you come and you bring no characters or artifacts, you might have trouble. Or if you're bringing, 4 models, you might have trouble. So I'm just saying, go for the balanced lists. And then we will be running hidden agendas. People really enjoyed that when we ran it last time. So you have to have a hidden agenda for each game, and you have 6 different ones for the 6 rounds. The hidden agendas will be a thing, and we haven't decided if it's going to be a tiebreaker like we used it last time, or just a secondary type of scoring. And then, so that's going to be the way that the AOS is going to be run, kind of secret missions, but it's going to be balanced. Okay, it's going to be fun. I like limiting realm rules. Yeah, I think free for all is a bit too crazy. Crusade Rock, I was worried they were going to trample me. Sold the Necrons. Brandon sold the Necrons. Lord Draconis realm rules, is it from the core book, or will they be set in each round? Like, I'm gonna set them, like the pack will be made like 4 weeks before, just nobody's gonna know what's in them until the day of. You guys got lots of time to practice with that stuff. You should be doing it. That's what they're doing in the UK and at the Masters and all that stuff, and it seems to be pretty good. So we might as well play what everyone's playing and join the modern age. So that will be AOS. I think there's more potential for AOS to release a book than 40K, to be honest, at the end of July, but we'll see. So the secret missions will just be from the General's Handbook. So, right now there's 12 missions. So we'll probably chop the earliest 6 out and do 12. If the new GHB 19 comes out, there'll be like 6 missions in that, right? So we'll probably do the 2 latest GHBs, so like 12 possible missions. So just for example, I like to put in something like Places of Power or Places of Arcane Power, just to have people on their toes. They need to plan for such things, that sort of thing. Tomb King Tristan, have you watched the Honest Wargamer show on battle plans? Possibly. I don't know. Possibly. Possible. Speaking of Honest Wargamer, we will be flying Rob and Scrivo over from the UK to cover Capital City Bloodbath. They are coming over, bringing all their shit with them, and covering Capital City Bloodbath. Most likely they will be covering 40K because it's going to be the way bigger event, but we may have some odd coverage or reports from Sigmar as well. Sorry, Sigmar guys, it's just the nature of the size of the events is going to, the intent was for them to cover 40K. But yes, that was a great segue, Tristan. Thank you. But we will have Rob, Scrivo, and then we're going to have a stream team, what I like to call the stream team, and by that I don't mean urologists. Stream team, Val, Heffelfinger, Peter, the Falcon Colissimo, and Michael Scott, a.k.a. Austin. They will be our stream team, and I'll be like rotating in maybe for a game or two to do all the commentating and to do roving reporting. So if you've ever seen any of Rob's coverage from like Bobo a couple weeks ago or any of his events, you'll see his coverage is really good. It's insightful, lots of roving reports, changing screens, good overheads. Like, it's really good coverage. It's probably some of the best coverage for Warhammer that there is out there, and that's his goal, right? To make it as good as possible. So this coverage is going to be amazing, and we've been planning this for a long time, and he's going to come over and we're going to have a great time covering. It's going to be super fun. In fact, I wish I wasn't TOing, I would just like commentate the whole time. But anyway, so it's going to be cool. We're going to have a great stream team and great coverage, and it's going to go out on CanHammer. It's going to go out on Honest Wargamer. It's going to be awesome. So super looking forward to that. I finally got to meet Rob in person at Adepticon. He's as cool as he is, and it's going to be super, super fun. And you know what? So Rob's going to be here from like Thursday. He's staying for like 2 weeks, I believe. And going around Ottawa and Toronto and just making a big Canadian trip out of it. So if you want to hook up with them, there's your chance. And then I think Scrivel's here for a week, and then he's got to go back. So they're making a big trip of it, and we're happy to get them over and start off their Canadian trip with a bang. And I'm hoping to also film some content with Rob for CanHammer, Battle Report, stuff like that. So that should be awesome. I'm super excited. And it's just going to up the profile of this event and really get it out there. So it's going to be amazing. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. People are very excited. Yes, people are very excited. I can't wait for Scribble's drink. But Tastic's got the Rob Goblin emoticons. It's awesome. Make the event the Canadian LVO. It already is the Canadian LVO. I never want to run anything as large as LVO. Take them out the Red Door provisions. This rules. Right. Well, it's awesome that people are excited because I'm super excited. And okay, just to update people currently. So after you sign up, so signing up is easy. Just e-transfer me the registration fees. You see them on the post and on the website to canhammer.yt@gmail.com. We're not taking PayPal or anything because last year we got burned by like PayPal fees and stuff. If you're American or British, then we may make an exception for currencies like that. But generally, if you're Canadian, you should be e-transferring me. It just gets straight into the bank account, and I put you straight on the list. There's a running list on a Google Drive that you can access from the website that shows you that you've been registered once you've paid your money. So it's very easy and simple and straight up. So you can check that link right now, and you'll see there's already 32 people registered for 40K. We opened this morning, so that's on par what we expected. And there's already, I believe, 16 or 17 registered for AOS singles. There's already 7 teams for 40K doubles and 3 or 4 teams for AOS doubles. So it is looking great, and we'll see how it goes. AOS is singles is currently capped at 50. But if you guys can prove me wrong, we'll expand it. We got capacity, but we capped it at 50 right now. And 40K, we've currently capped at 150. AOS doubles, there's no cap for the doubles because we got all the tables in the world, so we can take as many teams as people want. So if you want to bring an AOS doubles team, sign up. I'll tell you the minimum is like 10. So if we get less than 10 signups, the event is canned. So we do have a minimum, but for the doubles, the Friday events, we had no maximum because the maximum is really just based on tables and terrain. And so the maximums are really for the singles events. TBMC Kevin, welcome. Free Blades. Yeah, I hope you're excited, Kevin. The company is going to be there. You can like hobnob with the big cheeses of Free Blades, whoever that is. So And Kevin's favorite event, of course, the Gamer Garage sale. I've never seen Kevin move so fast than when the alarm goes off to sound the start of the Gamer Garage sale. It's pretty sweet. All right. Okay, I'll bring some special Forge Wheel at cut prices just for you, Kevin. Maybe one of these. It was doubles, 1K for each player. Yeah, so as I mentioned, it's probably going to be similar to Adepticon, like two separate 1K armies that don't interact really, like you can't share CP and stuff like that. And then like two generals, but then one is like the army general, stuff like that. So, will there be any Warhammer sports? No, there will not be. No, we're gamers. We're not athletes. All right. Well, I'm going to move on to talk about hobby progress, but if you still have CCB questions, keep them coming. I'll answer them as we go. So I've recently started hobbying again, which feels good. I just haven't had a lot of time, but now I'm planning for TGX in July. I need to get my Custodes ready, and I just keep adding more shit to it, which is pretty crazy. I will talk about that BAO win. So BAO was won by Jeff Robinson in the finals against Jim Vessel, the King of the North, the self-proclaimed and crowned by us King of the North. The finals was an exciting game, and Jim lost. So I'm kind of conflicted. I wanted Jim to win, obviously, but then I'm like, I wanted Jeff to win because he's not playing Custodes, he's playing Soup. So, you know, it's a little bit different. People are like, Custodes won BAO. No, they didn't. Imperial Soup won BAO, and his Soup had some Custodes in it. But there was a lot of other stuff in that list that was not Custodes. And Custodes is very different when you play it Soup than when you play it pure. So I'm not getting down on Jeff. I'm just saying it wasn't pure Custodes. It was Imperial Soup. So that's fine. So he won, and he was rocking a couple Caladius and the Telemon, his favorite combo in the backfield with Valoris, or what he likes to call the guy, Constantine Valdor. And then I think he's running a Vexilla, and then he had like 3 Aquilon Terminators. So he had a really toolsy kind of list. Then he run like the Emperor's artillery with the Basilisk and a Wyvern and some Guardsmen, and then the Admech Graia guys. So he had a pretty toolsy sort of soup list, quite well suited for ITC format, I think, and he did pretty well. I can't see Jim being able to kill a Telemon and 2 Caladius with his list at the latest iteration, but apparently it was close, and so congratulations to Jeff, of course, and congratulations to Jim doing super well again. Jim is on a roll. Like, he may not be winning everything anymore, but getting up to the top table at the end there is pretty good too. So doing good. All I said to Jeff after we found out he won was, don't get us nerfed. But these are still beta rules, so they are still subject to change. I haven't checked. Lord Draconis probably won't be updated for a couple of days, but probably still is. He had quite the sizable lead. Okay, so I'm working on my Custodes for TGX. I need 3 Caladiuses and or 2 and a Telemon. I have not decided. Jeff has not convinced me yet that it's better, and it's going to cost me more points, and I lose something from doing that. So I haven't decided yet, but my Telemon's fully painted already. So I really have to paint up 2 or 3 of these bad boys. This is one that came from GW recently, because they just came into stock, but they've been out for months. And so actually Martin from the UK... I bought some and he was going to bring them over to CanHammer team, but he forgot. So he shipped them over to me, so they should be here any day now. But I'm getting 2 or 3 of these guys being built, these sweet little models. Really just 4 main parts, each nacelle, the main part there and the turret, and then like a little, like the 2 guns and some other small parts. Really easy to go together, fits together perfectly like all the new Forge Roll kits. and it's just perfect, and very few stuff to clean. It's a beautiful, easy to do kit. And they've started to attach the gates to areas that don't really matter, so that's great. And and they got this cool little knob base there. So yeah, I just got this one, assembled it with the spray. Oh, so you got to get the accelerator spray. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so not a pun, but hobby golden tip. Golden tip. All right, Strazius, welcome. Golden tip for assembling Forge World. Instaset spray. Oh man, this stuff has changed my life. This is like I don't even know what this is. This is like eating A5 Wagyu in Japan. This is like so mind-blowingly amazing. Literally, like the Venatari dudes with like the little staff, and you had to put 2 arms on with the staff. You could not assemble those without this shit. No way. So this is just the bomb. Spray, super glue, boom, done. So good. So Tristan, if you do Forge World and you don't have this shit, you are missing out, man. Like don't. I'm not even exaggerating. And then for like insta fixes at tournaments, like when I went to the bike, the stem on the stupid jet bike broke. Boom, 2 seconds fixed. The blade, the spear blade snapped. You know how hard that is to glue? Boom, 2 seconds glued. Those stupid plumes on the top of the Custodes bikers. Boom. The little fins on the side of the bike snaps off. Boom. This stuff is the bomb. You have to have it. Get it. If you don't have it, I feel sorry for you. Okay, anyway, so this thing went together in like 5 minutes. Really good. And then I sprayed it with my Retributor spray, which is the same thing I've been doing with all my Custodes. And I have like freaking, I don't know, like 12,000 points of Custodes now. Yeah, it's an accelerator. So it was fine, and I'm pretty good at spraying, so it was a nice coat. And then I cut the guns separate because they're going to be black, but most of it's going to be gold and it's going to be black panels, so I'll airbrush that. But then I went to put the Reichland Flesh Shade, which is the same shade I've been using for all my Custodes, gloss, although some of them I've not used the gloss, but the gloss makes it pretty cool. And then it was beating up like little speckles. You can't really see it, but it was all splattered. And so what I ended up doing was just using a brush, 2 or 3 passes of it to take the shade off, like to smooth it out. And so now it's barely noticeable unless you look really closely at it. And after I finish it, it'll probably be fine. But it's never responded like that before. But then, as somebody mentioned when I posted this on Facebook, these are bigger panels than like on the infantry, right? So, and bikes. So that's probably why the spray is too slick, and so the wash does nothing to stick to. So somebody suggested that it just take some Retributor and dry brush it over the gold panels. There's not actually that much big gold panels here, but the ones that mostly on the top here. And on these sides here. So just dry brush actual Retributor paint, and then the wash will stick better in those areas. So that's what I'll do for the next ones. But this one, I recovered it okay just by cleaning off. And I did a little test piece on the side there. I put another wash of Reichland on it, and then that really covers it up. So that's okay. I'll probably just put another thin wash of Reichland on top of this, and it'll be okay. So otherwise, these are super cool models. They got this little kind of repulsor jets along there. These ones come built in, so it's really easy to put in. These fins, this back part is separate, and that's it. And then the turret is one piece, and then the guns are like 3 or 4 pieces. So it's really easy. Yeah, the gloss really kind of kicks up the gold and makes it glossy, but it does make it harder to paint on afterwards as a wash. I found anyway. So. But I have yet to find, if anybody knows a good gold airbrush paint that matches this kind of burnished gold color like the Retributor, let me know, because I'm looking for it. But I'm still stuck with using the Retributor spray, and it's a good spray. So Especially when I go to paint the Orion and the thing is like 4 times the size of this. I don't even know if I want to airbrush that. I'm just going to spray that shit. So, yeah. So, there we go. So, I'm working on this, and I actually put my Venetaris aside. They're almost done, but I have a time crunch now for TGX, so I got to just finish those guys later. So, I'm doing my Caladiuses. Hopefully, the ones from the UK will arrive very soon, and then I'll be good to go. And on the channel, you will be seeing some games with Custodes coming up with my new list, my new tech, which does not run a battalion. So I've ditched that crutch, trying to go. Scale 75. Yeah, I heard that too. Scale 75. So I might try and pick it up. Lord Draconis, drop that list tag. Well, since you asked. Okay, so I've been playing Custodes since the book came out. And my mission this year is to run pure Custodes. Okay, so we're not talking soups. Not even like AdMech 17. Obviously, I think Custodes is stronger if you run a guard or an AdMech battalion for 5 CP and for little dudes to hold. Although you do give up kill more in ITC format from that. But obviously, it's stronger if you soup a little bit. But if you're running pure Custodes, I think the battalion may be a trap. So the battalion basically forces you to run at least 156 point Guardian units. Usually 161 because you want one to have the shield so they don't die instantly. To like basilisks. So that is 100, 300, 400, just like almost 500 points just to hold backfield objectives. And that leaves you very little rest for the list. And plus, Valoris and a captain, let's say. So that already puts you up to like 700, 800 points. That's not even enough to run. And then you have to think, I need hordes, I need flyers, I need T7, T8 killing. And so you cannot have all three of those in a list with the battalion there. And the battalion literally doesn't do you anything but stand on back objectives. It's painful to have 160 points sitting on a backfield objective doing shit. It really is. My last game, really, that was the end of it, right? So I'm like, okay, and do you really need that 5 CP? And the answer is no. It's nice to have, but Custodes are strong. The power of Custodes is not in the stratagems. The power of Custodes is in its toughness, is in its points denial in terms of ITC format, and that's the power of Custodes. So, and it's in your ability to make 4-up. That's literally the power of Custodes. So the new Forge World stuff is good. So really, that is a crutch. You don't need that CP. You don't need to run 700 points just to get 5 CP. And if you look back, if you're a Knights Pro member, which you probably not, if you are a Knights Pro member and you follow Nick Nanavati, he played a bat rep for me a while ago now, like 6 months ago or something like that, playing a Custodes list against a Drukhari list. And he won that game, and he only had 4 CP. Basically the basic 3 and then a 1 CP detachment. And while you can't throw all sorts of rerolls out, you don't really need that many CP. If you're not running bike heavy, you don't need stooping dive. You're probably just using 3 CP for a teleport homer. You get 1 to 3 back with Valoris. So I think that's where it's at. Save 1 or 2 for a Tanglefoot here and there. So I am trying to get rid of that battalion crutch, because when you get rid of that, now you can run a bike unit for hordes. You can run Terminators for T7, T8 killing, and you can also run other stuff to jig for flyers and other stuff like that. So now your list actually gets way more tools rather than just having dudes. And if you running the Caladius or Telemon tech, then you already have dudes that can sit at the back on an objective. You don't need to spend 161 points. And you know what? I just discovered this. I had to make a Vanguards and I had nothing to put in there, so I put an Achilles Dreadnought in there just to fill a space for a Vanguard. 140 points all in, which is pretty cheap. That's cheaper sitting at the back than a unit of 3 Guardians. So if you really have to, just stick your freaking Achilles Dreadnought on the backfield objectives and save yourself 21 points. So that clinched it. That was like, what? I'm like, it never occurred to me this freaking Dreadnought is cheaper than those 3 dudes. And it's harder to kill. And if you do want to do something with him, he's going to do more shit. Not a lot of shit. And then it's like, well, it's a Dreadnought. You don't want to now you don't have to CP to deep strike it. You don't need to deep strike it. If you really want to push that thing forward, it moves 9 inches. Moves faster than all your other shit other than vehicles. So, it's plenty of speed there for that Dread. So, yeah. So that was the final straw. It was like, I spent the whole game where 3 guys did nothing but hold a backfield objective. And I was like, the Dreadnought would be cheaper by 21 points. That was it. So I built this list. Basically, it was kind of the gun line at the back. So Valoris, 3 Caladius tanks. And then the other detachment was a shield captain. And then initially it was a vanguard. So Vexilla, a unit of Aquilon Terminators, the Achilles, and then 5 bikes. So that gives me bikes, horde clearing. That gives me a gun line for shooting shit. Flyers. Those three things will kill a flyer because -1 hit, you're still hitting on 3s, reroll 1s. And then unit Terminators for knights. And then Vexilla, and then I had a random Dreadnought, which I could do whatever I wanted with. And 5 CP, and that's it. Boom. And way more tools and power in that list than spending 500 points on Guardians. Okay, so I got 2 questions to answer here. 3 questions to answer here. 4 questions. Okay, so first question, gonna do the assassin. I don't think so. 2 CP is too much now. I need that CP for other stuff. I don't think it adds too much to my list. So I think the assassins are out right now. At 2 CP was fine if I was still running 8 or 9 CP, but not now. Second question, fire pikes on the Aquilons. No, sir. The fire pikes are a 10-point trap, man. You run them with the Lastrum and the fists. First of all, you don't have to buy 6 new models just to have fire pikes. Second of all, average number of hits for the fire pikes is 3 to 4. Lastrum Stormbolters within 12-inch range, which is the range of the fire pikes, shoots 4 shots. So you're actually more reliable shooting the Stormbolters. The difference between Strength 5 and Strength 6 is almost nothing for most things that you're going to be shooting fire pikes at. So that does not really any difference, and otherwise they're the same, -1 damage. So actually, for 10 points less, the Lastrum Stormbolters are much better. And they have the opportunity to reach out further, too, if you need to shoot further. Now, you're saying, well, they will auto-hit on Overwatch. If somebody's charging your Aquilon Terminators that would be scared of fire pikes, they're probably going to die anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Anti-tank ones. I'm sorry. Just be more specific about what you mean by that. And then those guys are key for anti-tanks, anti-knights because of strength 10. Okay. And then the other question is, so 3 Caladius or 2 Caladius and Telemon, like Jeff Robinson. So the Telemon is slower. The Telemon doesn't fly. It can get tied up. And if you're running 2 guns, it's not that good in combat. The Telemon doesn't have a -2 to charge. The Telemon has fewer shots than it used to. And it's 67 points more than the Caladius. So I initially was going with triple Caladius. The Caladius, 8 shots, strength 8, -3, D3 damage. But strength 8 struggles against T8. I learned that winning off force is not good for that output. So I did the math. If you're going against T8 and you're running a Caladius or a Telemon, assuming auto hits, because basically hitting on 2 rolling 1s is auto hits, the Telemon does 3 more damage, does 9 damage on average than the Caladius, which does only 6 damage because it's strength 9, even with much fewer shots, with only 4 shots. And then it has the little shooty things out the top too. So It's better for what you are using those tanks for, which is against T7, T8. So it is better than the Caladius for anti-tank shooting. However, it's 67 points. So in my list, to get from 3 Caladius to 2 Caladius and the Telemon without losing too much, first of all, I have to drop the Caladius. I have to combine everything into a detachment, so I lose 1 CP, so I'm down to 4 CP, which is not a huge deal, but it's a CP. And I have to lose... what did I lose? Oh, and I lose the Achilles Dreadnought. So I lose the Achilles Dreadnought, a Caladius, and 1 CP in exchange for the Telemon and a 5th Aquilon Terminator. Because I didn't even have enough points to do a 6th bike. I would rather a 6th bike than a 5th Aquilon Terminator, but not enough points. So that's it. So that's the other variation of the list, which is 4 CP, 1 detachment, 2 Caladius Telemon, no Dreadnought, 5 Aquilon Terminators, 5 bikes. I don't know which is better. I'm going to test both. I think that there may be games where the Achilles is actually quality. 2 like las guns, basically 2 las cannons, auto 3 damage hits in combat. Could be nifty. And like I said, worst comes to worst, 140 points at the back instead of 161. So there could be play in that. And I think, yeah. But every time I play against 3 tank commanders or knights, I think, God, I could really use some strength 9 right now. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I already have a fully Telemon painted up, and so I just got to paint the Caladius tanks, and we'll play around with it. So you'll see those coming up on the channel sometime soon. Anti-tank Aquilon gun. I don't think there is an anti-tank one. I know they have the Adrathic thing, which is like strength 5, minus 2, 3 damage or something, but strength 5 against tanks sucks. I mean, if you play Ravagers, you know that strength 5 against tanks sucks. Yeah. Okay, so that was a long tangent into my Custodes list, but there you go. Lord Draconis asks, you can blame him. Okay, so I think that's basically hobby. So after I do these Caladius tanks, then I'll be cracking open the Orion, and we'll be doing that. I'll be trying to getting some hobby streams going on that. I just played a game today. Soon you'll see a return on YouTube of the long form battle reports. So with all the dice and strategies and everything discussed, I filmed it today with Francois. That was super fun. And so that will be released next week, a long form bat rep. It was Guard versus Dark Angels. I was trying out a lot of the new Phobos stuff, which sucks. And so that's staying in the box over there. I'm not going to bother painting it. But anyway, spoilers. But yeah, so that's a return of the long form next week. So we're going to try and do a long form every like 4 to 6 weeks when we can get a day together and just film a nice battle report. So it was fun doing that. Actually, I haven't done that for a while since we started streaming. Okay, so that's basically hobby progress. What are people working on? Are they working on it for a tournament, CCBB? I know lots of people already putting their lists and things together for CCBB. There's under 3 months to go, so you got to start thinking about it if you haven't already. I also have a Palace Grav tank over there that I haven't touched yet because it's not going to be my competitive list, but eventually I'll get around to it. I'll probably do that in the Orion at the same time because these things are all kind of pretty repetitive. Kevin's painting 40k army for CCBB. What are you going to be playing, Kevin? And Lord Draconis working on AdMech, which I hear is pretty gross these days. Breachers and stuff like that. Yeah, 18 Cataphrons. There we go. Tomb King Tristan's building up Forbidden Power scenery. Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that box. We'll see. We'll see how good those like Nagash head spells are, and like, yeah, I didn't really like that. Axis Entropy, welcome. Yes, the Cataphron Breachers is kind of the thing right now. Will Compendium be allowed for CCBB? Probably not. We didn't allow it last year, so we probably won't allow it this year. Strazius working on a Chaos display board. Yes. Lord Draconis, the kill team, Insane Priest. Okay. Kevin, Guard Brigade with Crast Castellan and 3 Assassins. Triple Castellan, man. Triple Crusader. That's hardcore. The boat guy is legit. Okay. Nice. Kevin, actually, entry. I'm taking a break from units to finally build the kill team ruins. Oh, okay. Is that what you meant? Okay. I'm disappointed with the Custodes kill team. It's literally just 3 models from the box and not 3 cool new models. So that's too bad. So yeah, sorry Tristan, like we're generally of the opinion that compendium should just be put away, just like square bases, and so we didn't allow it last year. I don't think we allowed it since AOS came out. So although we gave people, I think the first year a bit of break, but it's been years now, and and there will be no square bases. Everything needs to be on circles. You know, people have had years to rebase their armies, so no excuses now. But this is the same policy we had last year, so you can always borrow one of my armies. Thoughts on orcs at the minute? I haven't seen any competitive orcs. I don't know if anybody's running orcs at BAO, but obviously the FAQ kind of hit them hard in terms of Luda spam and all that sort of stuff. I think orcs have a lot in their codex. People just got satisfied playing what everybody else was playing. But I think they got a lot in there. 120 bodies going to do a lot of work regardless of what those bodies are. And they got a lot of T8 vehicles, those without the Castellans and stuff, and Reapers around, those freaking Bone Breakers and stuff. That really hurts. You run a bunch of those, and they get so much stuff for the points. So those Relic Shock Attack and the Shock Attack guns are nasty. Those stupid, you can run like 18 artillery pieces. Like, they still got a lot of tools. People don't have to worry about it. Orcs will be fine. Tristan, I guess I'll run Legions of Nagash. Go for it. Accident Entropy, someday they'll stop allowing 40k indexes. Yes, I'm hoping that once all the books are out, GW will be like, okay, indexes are gone. Boom. Because that's a pain in the butt. Luda Spam was terrible. It was terrible, but could do work. I'd like to see some Tyrannid players. Yeah, Tyrannids have gone by the wayside. Actually, Francois said maybe we should do a bat rep with Tyranids. I'll just play some crappy Space Marine army so it's not a wipe, and do some bring Tyranids back. There was a time there when the book came out that everybody was playing Tyranids. Jeremy was on here playing Tyranids. Francois was playing Tyranids. Everyone was playing Tyranids. So yeah, we got to bring them back. Still wrecking people with my orcs post FAQ. Yes, because they're still good. Bizarre 40k Beast, welcome. Robert, Fire Drake, everybody welcome. Archon Win, orcs are still real good. Saw some great lists at BOO. I think there's some growing pains from the FAQ. Yep, I think they're fine. Orcs will be fine. It's a good book. There's a lot in there. Everyone just gravitated to the obvious, like, abusive thing, right? So 50 shooter boys. Meta's changing. Hurts more than the Luda changes. Yeah. GSC is just better. GSC is pretty strong. They probably need to be tuned down a little bit, but they get too much for their points, like we were playing CanHammer team. Chris was playing my bike spam list against Jeff Panderetta, and I was kind of like coaching him because he'd never played Custodes before. We were ringing for one of the teams. One player didn't show up. And so it was basically 18 Custodes bikes versus 30 Aberrants. And then once you finally got through 30 Aberrants, now you had like 500 Acolytes with 50 Rock Saws to deal with. And then in the back of all that was like 60 Guardsmen just holding shit. So it was like way too much for the points, it was way too much. Anyway, they're very strong. GW won't ever say index are done. Yeah. Eventually, I think we'll better do that. Just like the compendiums. People just got to rip the Band-Aid off, Kusei Rock, agreed. Fire Drake is building 20 Meganobs. See, you'll be fine. Orcs will be fine. 20 Meganobs. Tristan, are there painting awards at CCBB? So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, each event will have best painted awards like normal, and then there is a painting competition. The details are on the website. Knits are super cool. GSC are lame. Demons and GSC are a bit too good right now. Well, The problem with, like, people complain about Imperial soup, but I tell you what, Chaos soup is even crazier, right? Because then you got all these gods and shit, right? And everybody can mix gods and stuff. Like, it's super confusing. It's way more soupy than Imperium ever is. And now they got all these Lord Discordants, and they got a whole bunch of shit, right? So, actually, I keep forgetting now that Custodes have a stratagem that gives me exploding 4s against Black Legion. But I literally never used it because nobody played Black Legion. But now I got to remember, exploding 4s is pretty gross. Yeah, Chaos Soup is crazy. Imperial Soup has got nothing on Chaos Soup. Like, they got demons, space marines, then they got all the different gods, and this can have this, and this can have this mark, and this can go there, and this can go there. When that Renegade Knight book comes out, I bet you they can get marks and shit and god powers and all this, and it's going to be crazy. Those knights are going to be stronger than any knights out there. I bet you. You can mark this right now. Don't be talking smack about Chaos. Yeah. Plague Bears are legit. They're way too cheap. Orc Smoke GSC, bad matchup for them. Yeah. Chaos Knights will mirror the Imperial Soup lists. I think Chaos Knights will be better than Imperial Knights. Like, let's say you could give a Chaos Knight a 4+ invuln and then a 5-up Final Pain. You're not killing that shit. Like, if you can give that guy, like, a Nurgle save, like, and then make him so that you can't be shot unless he's the closest model or something, like, you're not killing that shit, right? Like, it's going to be like that. It totally is, right? You're going to be able to, like, warp time a freaking knight, Gallant, who can't shoot, and has, like, a 4-up, and a 5-up, and then another 5-up, and it's a -2 to hit, and you can totally see that shit is coming. Like, it's so obvious. Oh, man. Yeah, they just want people to buy knights, man. Like, it makes them a lot of money. They just want people to buy knights. And, I was thinking recently that, of course, so even just me, have seen so many more vehicles being played now, and myself playing vehicles that I've never even considered playing while the Castle Inn, double shooting Reapers, Shining Spears, all that shit was around, right? Now that's all coming out. Now, kind of Castle Inn is like anti-meta now. Like, the Castle Inn still shoots a lot. 100 points in that kind of list is really nothing. It's like a Hellhound. The Castle Inn is still strong. It's not as hard to kill, but it's still strong. You can still power it with the CP. That didn't get changed. So Castle Inn is kind of anti-meta now, and you're still picking up a couple of tanks a turn, 2-3 tanks a turn with it. So I think it's kind of anti-meta. But anyway. Well, Tristan, I gotta say, AOS has got its own issues, some serious power creep in AOS. That's why people are so pissed off about Sylvaneth, because it's not out of the batshit crazy like Skaven was, or like Flesh Eaters was and still is. It's like all these books coming out, boom, 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 power creep, power creep, power creep, power creep. It's crazy. So any book that comes out and is not power creeped, almost instantly like by the wayside, like Khorne. There's some power in Khorne, but yeah, there's a lot of power creep in AOS. They got their own problem there for sure. And they don't seem to do anything to adjust that, except every year in General's Handbook, they don't have FAQs, like twice big FAQs or anything like that. So maybe they will once they have more, the books updated. Yeah. Yep, so that is basically what's going on. Okay. So we're getting close to the end of the show. Put your questions in the chat if you have questions about CCBB or anything else, or if you just want me to rant about something. I'm pretty good at ranting, as you can tell. You know what's funny is personal insight. I'm actually not extroverted. According to all these personality tests I do, I'm a pretty introverted guy. But for some reason, like, I don't mind being like TV personality. It's kind of funny. Friggin' FCC got better with that corn fact. Yeah. LLV in the house. All hail. King of stats himself. LLV in the house. LLV, are you going to make it to Capital City? That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I can understand if you can't, though, because it's like $4,000 to fly here. But, Yeah, that would be sweet. LV, if you could rendezvous with Rob in Ottawa. Whoa. Dude, I did not. Is that like on... Is that on a stream somewhere? Is that on Honest Wargamer? You gotta link me to where I can see that, and I'll screenshot it. Oh yeah, that's right. You were going all the way over to Bobo. I totally forgot, and that's why we sent you the shirt. That's awesome. Did anyone comment on that? That's sick. If it was GTA possible, but auto is another 3 hours. It's not so bad. Just slap on the VO rail, chill out, read the new Horus Heresy book. Yeah. All right, Lord Draconis, I think BOK Mortal Spam is legit with 3 priests and Gore Pilgrims. Maybe. Solar Wars is amazing. Yeah, I'm about halfway through. Best dispossessed player in the UK right here now. Nice. That's hilarious. Tell you what, LLV, if you can get yourself to Toronto, I'll get you to Ottawa. All right? Because we got to have all the luminaries there for AOS. So if you want to come to Capital City Bloodbath, we'll make it happen. Just message me. They banned TK at CCBB because they're too powerful. TK. Oh, TK. Oh, Tomb Kings. No. You got to join the modern world, Tristan. That's like saying you want to play Bolt Action. You know, it's like... All right. Yeah, LV, let me know if you want to come. We'll get you here, okay? All right. So in a few minutes, speaking of AOS, we're going to give this away. So this is from Hoyt at Thunder Games and Gifts. Now, actually, Nick won this last time, Nick Blackburn, but he doesn't want it, actually. He was just seeing if he could win. So we have this to give away again. The Slanesh Battle Tome from Sigmar. So I'm going to be asking my skill testing question in a few minutes. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you do need to be in the Twitch chat in order to take part in this contest. And as of June 1st, we're changing our Patreon structure. We will be having only one tier of Patreon at $5, flat rate of $5 a month. And these giveaways will only be going to patrons as of that time. So if you want to keep having these giveaways, do consider becoming a patron. If you're a current patron, you can continue pledging what you pledge or change it to $5 or leave or whatever you like. We will be honoring rewards for up to 3 months afterwards the change, but the patrons have not complained, the current patrons, about this change. So as of June 1st, that will be happening. So this is possibly the last giveaway to the random audience because we will be doing Patreon giveaways after that. All right, so give people a couple more minutes to get onto the Twitch chat if you're on Facebook or YouTube. So as you know, how it works is the first, I'm going to ask a skill testing question. It will not be math because I suck at math. And if you're the first person to answer the skill testing question in the Twitch chat correctly, you will win. And I'll mail it to you, and that's it. It's as easy as that. I've sent the last book I sent to Italy. Can't do that very often. That shipping was a bit expensive. Fire Slayers went to Italy. I had a book go down to Shane Watts in the States. I've had mostly in the States. I had somebody in Ottawa win one. He just picked it up. I sent them to Toronto. They're going all over the place. So yes, LV, it will be epic coverage. I'm so excited. And Strazius, you're not changing your Patreon. You love supporting us, and we do appreciate that very much. In fact, I've had a few patrons say, well, I want to continue paying you at the level we're paying you now, not just the $5. And I said, I think you can still do that. You can actually tell it what you want to pay. So that's awesome, and we do love our patrons and our supporters. So. Tristan, I'm going to gaffer tape Scribble to a chair with all the extra cash. Yeah, I was saying, like, they don't need that much cash, but it's just, like, going crazy. They should just, like, spam it on, like, their Canadian trip, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you can spam it on, but spam it on something. We'll be streaming 40K mostly, but I think we may be able to cover some AOS. But, yeah. If you were going to make it LLV, we may be able to, because really I think the limitation of streaming some AOS also is just personnel. Yeah, that might be interesting. You should hit us up on Facebook. Yeah, that would be crazy to cover both games at the same time. It would just be crazy. Fancy armor cases for the boys. Yeah, maybe they just need luggage or clothes. Something non-lumberjack. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, we might do is just borrow other people's Twitch accounts, but for now we're okay. It's just whether we need the actual manpower to like run the streams and to commentate the streams. So yeah. But we also need players, So if the stream team takes away 10 players, and that's also against the thing. So we'll see. Yeah, Tristan, Damien, why don't you guys message me and we'll see if you guys really want to do that. We'll need to make sure that that Rob can support that, right? So, and then we could do both games, but we'll see how that goes. Right now, they're coming over to cover 40K, two tables of 40K, so should be awesome. But yeah, it's super flexible. We got months to plan. So, all right, that's enough time. We're gonna be giving this away. So get ready for the skill testing question. The skill testing question is, right now, if you're not into Horus Heresy, you may not know, but currently the Solar War is the first book in the series that covers the Siege of Terra in the Horus Heresy. The question is, who wrote the Solar War? Boom, there's the question. Boom. Who wrote the Solar War that I'm reading right now? First Siege of Terra book, Horus Heresy. Easy question. Oh, you guys disappoint me. Dan Abnett did not write this book. Nobody's reading it. All right, Snoop DeVille wins. John French is in fact the right answer. Congrats, Snoop. Boom. This goes to Snoop DeVille. Dan Abnett. Oh, I think is he writing the second one? I don't know. I think it's a series of 3, but the first book, The Solar War, written by John French. So, Snoop, I think you may have told me before, but just send me again your details, and I'll get that off to you. Yeah, Bizarre 40K. We're okay with that. It was a typo. All right. Yeah, before it quits, you let the age. That's so much. All right, cool. Okay, so, well, that's the end of tonight's show. Like, I should do more of these impromptu shows because they're just fun, like just talking, rather than have it so regimented. But it's also cool talking to people. So, thanks very much for joining us, guys. As you know, there won't be a live stream this week, but there will be 2 bat reps, Wednesday and Thursday. And then next week we'll be back to streaming. And then our first long form bat rep will be out next week, and that'll be great. And then there's a couple of weeks in June where my wife is away for 3 nights in the week, and we'll be streaming every night. So there'll be a lot of content coming as I train for TGX. You're gonna see a bunch of custodies. We're gonna bring a lot of people back, getting more. There's a bunch of AOS ones coming out, so don't despair, guys. We've got some Gits and Flesh Eaters and daughters and all those kind of bat reps coming out, so that stuff is coming. And yeah, check out CCBB, www.capitalcitybloodbath.com. Spread the word. And what I like people do is spread the word to people who don't normally consider going to tournaments. Because if you've been to Capital City Bloodbath, you know that only 10% of the people are there are in it to win it. Everyone else is there to have a great time. 6 games of 40K in a great venue with great food, amazing people. That's what most of the people go to the tournament for. And so that's the people we need to get out going to these events to keep these events going, because those 10 guys that are going for the top, I already know they're coming. They already booked it last year. We need people to discover how cool events are, and to come to the events and go to the Gamer Garage sale and get some swag and all those sort of things. So meet some new people, play different armies. So that's what we need. So spread the word far and wide to those kind of players. They're the people who need to discover our event and see how much fun it is. So definitely spread the word. Okay, well, that is it for tonight's stream. Thank you very much for watching. We will catch you later. Maybe I'll do another stream like this later in the week when I'm finished a bit more work on the Clades. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, guys.